Since we just went over widgets, the best thing to go over right now is menus, because menus and widgets work very, very similarly. As a matter of fact, the interface is very, very similar for editing both of them. Up here in the front, you'll notice as we hover over, sometimes, depending on the menu, we get different submenus that come out. And as we hover, you'll notice there are 3 different areas that have submenus, and then some areas don't have submenus. This is represented back here in the dashboard. Underneath Appearance, I'm going to come down right underneath Widgets is Menus. I'm going to click on that, and that's going to bring me into the interface here for WordPress's menu. Now, if you'll look here, you'll notice this is a pretty long list, and that's because we're showing every menu item at one time. But you'll notice that we have Home, then About Us, and then Services, and then a bunch of stuff after Services, but you'll notice it's slightly moved over here to the side, and it's also marked with Sub-Item. Okay, and as we scroll back down, then we see Go Green and Property Management, and then we see other sub-items. These sub-items are what's coming out here in these drop-down menus that are flying out. So how do we edit those? How do we add new menu items and stuff? Well, once again, this is a very simple to use interface. It is drag and drop. So I'm going to go ahead and put Home behind About Us. I'm going to click Save Menu, come over here, refresh the page, and now we'll see About Us and Home have switched places. Very, very easy to rearrange menu items. Okay, but what about these sub-menu items? I mean, that's pretty direct and to the point when it comes to dealing with menu items. Just drag them in whatever order you want them to appear out here. But what about these sub-menu items? Once again, they're also drag and drop. What if I don't want one of these sub-menu items anymore in here? Like, let's say right here I've got window and screen cleaning. What if I want that to be a main item out there? If I don't want it to be in the sub-menu, well, I can grab that, drag it down, and then instead of having it over here, I'm just going to move it over here and drop it right there. Now, since I've done that, now when I come out here and I refresh, okay, one, you're going to notice that the menu is all funny looking now, and that is because this menu is designed for the menu that we have in place right now as far as root menu items go. So, of course, this is going to bump everything down to a second row. But we'll see we have window and screen cleaning in here now as a top-level menu item. No longer is it a sub-menu item of services. So I'm going to come back over here because that's not what I want. I actually want that as a sub-menu item of services. I'm going to come back over here and put it underneath linoleum and floor cleaning where it was before. And I'm going to come up here and click Save Menu. Unlike with the widgets, menus, whenever you make a change to the menu, you must save the menu for that change to go live out in the front of the site, no matter what the change is to the menu. So we've seen how to remove items. If we want an item to be a sub-item of something, if I wanted contact to be a sub-item of commercial and janitorial, I would just move it over here, and I would click Save Menu. And that would all of a sudden make that now a sub-menu item. So once again, a nice visual representation of our menu in a nice, easy, concise way. Just, we don't want that to be a sub-menu anymore. We're just going to move it over here, and we're just going to save that menu. And now it's back to being a top-level menu item. So it's a nice visual representation of our menu out front. Everything bumped over here all the way to the left side is a top menu level item. Everything slightly bumped over is a sub-menu of that. But what if I wanted even another sub-menu? What if under duct cleaning, I wanted dryer and vent cleaning to go under that? And what if I wanted pressure washing to go under that too? Well, you see, I can move those over now and make them a sub-item of the sub-item. And when I save that menu, I come out here to the front, I refresh the page, I select Services. Now you're going to notice next to duct cleaning is a little arrow, and when I come over there and I hover over it, I get another third level slide down menu. So you see, once again, very, very, as you look at this menu, very easy to tell what's going on here. Very, very easy. You can see here we've got our root menu items, commercial and janitorial, right here out front. It's got 3 sub-menu items, and that's represented right here by these just being slightly pushed over to the side. And when I want to change any of these, I want to move them out of being sub-items of one item, all I have to do is move them just a little bit over and put them back into the place that they were before, and then just save my menu and refresh the page. Okay, so now we've seen how to change the menu that's there right now. But what if we add another service, for instance? What if, we added a page like before we added test page, okay? What if we added another service, and now we want that service to be represented here? So how do we add a new menu item in? And that's over here. You're going to see underneath pages, you're going to see 3 selections: most recent, view all, and search. Search is just like what it sounds like. If I start entering in something, it's going to show me everything that has ABO in it somewhere. Okay, it's got an A, it's got a B, it's got an O, it's got something, and it's going to show me that right there. So the search function is very direct to the point. I can search for pages. I can view all pages, but it defaults to the most recent page, which means if I go create a page, then I come into this menu structure right over here. The most recent page I created is going to be right here. And as you can see, we've created a page for training purposes that we're going to put all of these videos on. And you're going to see that since that was the last page since that was the last page that was created, that's the one that's first represented up here in the most recent category. And that's why WordPress defaults to this and shows this as the default category. Instead of showing view all, it shows this right here. So that you can, because most of the time you're going to create a page and then come over here and add that page to the menu structure. And to do that, you select the page you want, and you could select more than one page. You don't have to select just one page. You could select more than one page. But I'm just going to select one right now to show you how it works. And I'm going to click Add to Menu. Come down here to the bottom of the menu, and I'm going to see the training has been added. Now, if I wanted that to be the last menu item, if I wanted it to be right over here next to contact, I could just leave it right there, but I don't actually. Let's say that I want it to be a sub-item of commercial and janitorial, and I want it to show up right underneath hotels. Just going to drag and drop that right into that sub-menu, align it with the other menu items, refresh it. And now, underneath commercial and janitorial, you'll see that we have training right underneath hotels. Now, what if I want to get rid of that menu item? Because I actually don't want that there. So I want to go ahead and get rid of that menu item. How do I get rid of a menu item? Well, you need to enter the menu items edit screen. And to do that, you'll see that over here on the side of the menu items on the right side, you'll see there are these little arrows right next to denoting what type of menu item it is. And it's a link to a page. When I click that, this comes down just like it did for the widgets. When I clicked on the widget title, all of a sudden I got the options for that coming down. Well, the options for this are coming down. And one thing I've got here is I can change the navigation label. I'm just going to change this to stuff. Okay. Now I'm going to save this. As I do that, I'm going to refresh the page here and come out. And now you're going to notice that this is called stuff. Okay, but if you look down, if you look down in the left-hand corner of my screen to the URL that has popped up, you're going to notice that the URL is truegreencarpetsolutions.com/training. Just because I changed the name doesn't do anything at all. It's still going to go to the training page link. It doesn't matter that I changed the name. So I can name these anything I want, and they will still go to the same pages that I put in there. So once again, you have a lot of control over these particular menu items and the fact that they do not have to be named the same as the page itself. You can name it whatever you want. And you can move it around, make it a sub-item of anything. It doesn't matter whether it's a child page of a certain page or not. It doesn't matter. You have complete control over the menu from this interface right here. And when you don't want a menu item anymore, all you have to do is click Remove and save your menu. And that menu item will disappear. That page is still intact. The page is not gone anywhere. I can come over here, come right over here to Pages, and scroll down, and you'll see my training page is still here, has not been moved to the trash, nothing at all. Just understand that even though you can reference in menu, you can reference all of these pages and add these pages to your menu, that doesn't mean that doing anything in here to these menu items affects your pages at all. When you delete things from the menu, that does not delete them from pages or posts or anything in here. That doesn't delete them at all. It just affects the menu itself, nothing more at all. So just be aware of that. That's one thing you just should be very, very aware of in this system, is that changing something in the menu does not affect any of the content at all whatsoever. Another thing you should be aware of, though, is if you change the name of a page, that name will automatically be updated up here to the default page unless you have changed this label yourself. If you have changed this label, the system knows you've changed the label, and it will leave that label at that name. It will not automatically update it to the name of the system. So that is the only connection in there, and it's a connection from the page part that will automatically update the name of your menu item unless you've customized that menu item's name, in which case it will update the menu item's URL if that's been updated automatically in the background. You don't have to worry about that, but it will not update the name if you've specifically set it to be a certain name in the menu. So anyway, that is how you add and remove menu items and adjust menu items in the system.